Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Chandrika and this is Rika Life. Okay, so I am back from my road trip. I'm going to share some pictures here on the yarn that I took with me, and you will be happy to know that I have now finished all of this yarn. So I made 4 projects while I was away on my trip, and then I just finished one after coming back. So I want to share them with you. I'm going to share the finished objects with you and the yarn and my, my comments and my feedback on this yarn that I've been using. So let's first start off with Premier Puzzle yarn. This is in the color Hopscotch, and Premier Puzzle yarn, I had 2 balls of this and I used each ball to make a shawl. So I actually made 2 shawls, and I gifted one on the trip and I still have one. So this is the one that I have. This is the shawl. This is what it looks like. It's a real beauty. The colors came off the ball so wonderfully. It has like reddish, pinks, blues, peach. I wouldn't say there's any green, but there's blues, and it's dreamy. This is where it started. And this is being done in the corner to corner stitch. And I basically, you could look at it like this. And I decided to keep it as a shawl. So I did not do any decreasing. I just did increasing, and then I stopped. And this is my shawl that I made. So I gifted one like this. It looks exactly the same. And this is the one that I finished and I kept for myself, or I kept for a future gift. So this is Premier Puzzle yarn. It's 328 yards or 300 meters. A 7-ounce 200-gram ball. It's 100% acrylic, which is great. This is the color Hopscotch. It's a bulky number 5, and it recommends a J or 6mm hook. I made 2 of these shawls. For one shawl, it recommends a J. I used an L hook, and then I felt like it was very dense, so I decided for the second shawl to use a bigger hook. My M was at home, but I had the N as a Nancy, so I used my N hook. It was really interesting experience because I was very curious to know how would the shawls look different, because I used a different hook for it, hook size. It almost came out looking exactly the same. So the difference between an L hook and an N hook is not that much, and they both looked pretty much exactly the same. It was just a little bit easier to crochet with the larger hook because I had better tension. So this was my first time using Premier Puzzle in Hopscotch. There is a pattern that's on the label, but I did not make that, of course. And I made 2 shawls with it. I'm super duper happy with it. Let me see if I can remember how long it took me. So I finished one on the car ride there. So I want to say it took me, and I actually had started one before I left my house. So I want to say one shawl took me maybe 3 hours, maybe 3 hours or less, just around there. And the second shawl was also done by the time I reached my destination. So I'd say around 3 hours. You could be faster than me if you crochet faster. I was kind of taking my sweet time, but this is the first shawl that I made. So this is just a corner to corner shawl, and I will be keeping this one for a gift or for donations. This is what it looks like up close. It has really nice color transitions, really beautiful yarn, and it was really fun to work with. It's soft yarn. It holds well together. I didn't have to frog anything. There's no splitting, and I'm sure it feels very durable to me. So, and it's a little bit warm. It is a bulky yarn, so it's warmer than a worsted weight, but it's warm without being heavy. It's a really nice, soft, and gentle yarn. So I would definitely use Premier Puzzle again, and I did on my next project. So this is the first shawl, which I made 2 of. That's the first project I wanted to share with you. I'm going to put that on the side. And now I made my second project with Premier Puzzle Shimmer. The first one was a star blanket that I had made, and I can't even remember I think that color was called Trivia Shimmer, something like that. So this is the second one that I used, and this is called Cat's Cradle Shimmer. And it has different statistics than the Premier Puzzle because it is shimmer. So this one is 246 yards or 225 meters, 5.29 ounces or 150 grams. It's 98% acrylic and 2% metallized polyester. This is also a bulky number weight 5 and also recommends a J or 6 millimeter hook. And for this, I think I used an L hook, which is 7 millimeters. Yeah. So I wanted this yarn to be like showcased in a really beautiful way. So I kind of sat with it and I just went on YouTube and started searching for patterns. I went on Ravelry and I went through the projects page to see what had people made with Cat's Cradle yarn or Cat's Cradle shimmer. And then I kind of went onto my own projects page and I looked at that and I realized, hey, I've made a moss stitch in the square and that's looked really nice. So that is what I did. I did moss stitch in the square, also called a linen stitch. And this is my beauty. I used 2 balls. And this is what it looks like. It's really, really pretty. I'm going to show that to you up close. Hopefully you'll be able to see some of the shimmer. I think you can see the shimmer in there. There we go. It's not focusing. Okay. So moss stitch is single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. And the next row you make single crochets in the chain spaces of the row below. This is actually a pattern. I'm going to link it down below. Sorry for the middle. It looks kind of weird. I'm going to link it down below. So this is a little bit different than a regular moss stitch in the square because in this there's no joining. So you kind of just skip over to the next corner and you continue. So in the beginning there's no joining, and so right here in the middle there's no slip stitch. That's going all the way up the project. There's no slip stitch. You just, those 4 lines you're seeing are just the corner spaces, and it's made really beautifully. I love this. I really enjoyed working with this. I've done moss stitch or linen stitch before, so this was not my first time, but I really enjoyed it. It felt very like meditative, felt very rhythmic, and just because I was using an L hook, it worked up really quickly. So I also made this on my trip while I was away. I showed that to you again. So this Cat's Cradle has, it has some peaches, some pink, some very, very light gray or light blue. And the colors just kind of keep changing. And I really enjoyed this. So this is a baby blanket. And I will be keeping this for a gift or for a donation. What else can I tell you? This yarn, just like the Premier Puzzle, this puzzle shimmer is very soft. Even though it has the sparkle, it's not scratchy at all. I would have no problem gifting this to a baby because it feels amazing. And it looks so pretty. I really, really like it. So let me hold that up so you can see it nicely. And this is a very simple pattern. It's just a repeat that you keep doing over and over, and you just make the corner spaces. And so it's really fun. It's really meditative. It works up quickly, especially if you're using a bulky yarn like this and you're using a large hook size. It works up really quick. So I definitely recommend this if you have some yarn. You know, this yarn has color changes, but it's almost, I'd say, it's more of like a gradient. It kind of reminds me of more like a gradient, even though it's kind of abruptly changing. But because the colors are so soft, it's not very jarring when you look at it. It's not like, oh my God, there's peach. Oh my God, there's gray. It's just like, it's just blending into itself. So I would highly recommend this pattern. I'm going to link it down below. It's a very quick tutorial, not mine. It's a very quick tutorial. It goes through the basics on how to start, and then you just keep repeating over and over until you get to the length that you want. This is moss stitch in the square. I'm sure you can make moss stitch in a rectangle. You can make moss stitch squares and then join them together. You could use this to use up scraps, and I'm sure it would look really good for a scrap yarn project as well, because you get to see that stitch definition going around. So this is a project I really loved. I really liked working on it. I really, really enjoyed the yarn as well. So Premier Puzzle Shimmer gets 2 thumbs up from me. I had a wonderful time working on this, and I'm so glad that I was able to make it. All right, so those are my first 2 projects, and now I'm going to share with you one more. So in that picture I showed you earlier of the yarn that I took, I had purchased this yarn from Michaels. So this is a Loops and Threads, the Michaels brand, and it's called Carousel Twist Acrylic. And I think this is one of the newer yarns at Michaels. And this is 213 yards or 213 yards or 195 meters, 5.3 ounces or 150 grams. So I had 2 of these balls, and I thought, because I had made those shawls in corner to corner, I was wondering if I could make a scarf out of this. And so that's what I did. I had the color Pink Lemonade. Look at this. It's dreamy. It's like giving me such crazy Easter vibes. I'm just like imagining Easter right now. Just like bunnies and eggs and the grass and just springtime, like something so fresh. So this is the scarf that I made. I'm holding it folded because it's very long. This is a corner to corner again, and this is just a corner to corner where I started and then I kept moving up. So let's just imagine I'm down here. So I started and it was going in the same, it was being built up like this in a triangle. Once I got to this width that I wanted, I stopped increasing on one side. So on this side, I started decreasing, and so that brought this line up. And on this side, I kept increasing, so it made it longer. So I made a rectangle. And that's how I just kept going all the way until I got to the top. And what happened is then I stopped increasing, and then I filled in, all of this got filled in rows. Then I was decreasing this side and decreasing this side. And then I was able to make my scarf. Go and check out my corner to corner tutorial. I explain a lot more about this in detail, but I was really excited to use corner to corner again. I thought it was just an easy kind of mindless stitch that I could use, and I could just pick up and put down my project. And so I made this scarf that looks really, really pretty. This is the color Pink Lemonade. It's such a fun color. I actually went back onto Michael's website to see if I wanted more carousel twist, because I just purchased the 2 balls. And this was honestly the prettiest color that they had. And it came out so nice. So it has some pinks, it has very light red, it has purples, and it has greens. It's just so beautiful. So you can see some of the colors there in the stitch definition. This came out really, really nicely. Again, super soft yarn, very easy to work with. Didn't really have to frog anything, so I don't think it would have had any trouble with frogging because it's plied together and woven together very nicely. I would definitely recommend trying out Carousel Twist. Again, it's by Loops and Threads at Michaels. This is their own brand. And I know there are other similar yarns coming out from other companies, but this is the first one of this kind that I used, and I really did enjoy it. I'm just show that to you again. It's really pretty. So if you're interested in corner to corner, if you're interested in making a scarf or a cowl or an infinity scarf, you can totally do that with this yarn. It's very versatile. I don't think I told you what hook size I use. So this is a bulky weight 5 and recommends a US 5.5 millimeter or I hook. And I think I used either a J or a K hook. I'm pretty sure I went up. I didn't use an I. Just because, as I mentioned before, like my tension is a bit tight, so I always go up a hook size or 2 hook sizes, and that worked out well for this. So you can see it's quite dense. There's no holes. And there's no holes again because when I do corner to corner, I do chain 5 and then instead of chain 6, and then also when I slip stitch to a new block, I chain 2 up and then make my double crochets. I don't chain 3. So just making those 2 modifications helps to make this really dense and project that doesn't have holes. So of course, if you hold it and you pull it apart, you can see some of those holes. But the way it's sitting, you don't see any of the holes. Yes, you can poke your finger through if you really want, but it's a nice dense fabric. So I really enjoyed working on this project, and it's really fun. It's kind of nice because I feel like when you work on these projects, like when you're away, then they kind of carry that energy of the trip that you were on, and it will remind you of that trip. So this scarf does not have a destination yet, but I will be holding on to it and I will be taking care of it until the time that I decide to gift it, donate it, sell it, or what have you. So those are 3 of my projects. I want to share with you a little bit more, so give me 1 second. I had shared this spring-ish blanket earlier, and I actually finished it, so I just wanted to share it with you now. I didn't weave in the ends. You know I never weave in the ends. So this is Caron Simply Soft in Blackberry and Line Brand Mandala Ombre in the color Balance. I think I used 2 balls of the Caron Simply Soft, and I used 3 balls of the Balance. So I'm just going to open this up and show it to you. Oh my, here we go. Let me stand up because it's pretty tall. It's pretty long. Okay. Now it's touching the floor and it's coming up to my chest. I'm 5'5", so it's pretty big blanket. So you can see I kept switching the color. So it starts off at the bottom with the Balance, then it goes into Blackberry, then it goes into the Balance again, into the Blackberry, and finishes with the Balance. So this is a double crochet, what's it called? V cluster stitch. I think that's what it's called, a V cluster stitch. And this is a tutorial by Naztazia. I'm going to link it down below. I did link this in an earlier video. I have shown this already, but I wanted to share it with you because I'm finished. I really enjoyed working with this yarn. Line Brand Mandala is one of my favorites, and Mandala Ombre is one of my favorites. This color had caught my eye, so I bought 3 balls of it, 3 cakes of it when it was on sale, and now I finally got to use it. This Blackberry color has been one of my absolute favorite colors of Caron Simply Soft. I love it. It's so dreamy. It's like giving me the purpley. It kind of looks pink on the screen, but it's more purple, in the purple family. And I love the stitch definition. Like, look at that. That's just gorgeous. This is a very easy repeat, and it's a very easy blanket to make. It's mindless. You can pick it up and put it down. That's what I love about it. I think I used an I hook, 5.5 millimeter, and I loved it. I made this pretty quickly. I think I made this within a week to a week and a half, and I would definitely make it again. This is not the first time I've used this pattern. I used it on my big blanket of last year, which was a Line Brand Mandala Ombre in Pure, which was pinks and blues. I used this exact same stitch, and that's an even bigger blanket than this. But for this one, this is just giving me like spring vibes, and it's just making me so happy. It's so beautiful. You'll see that again. And these colors just kind of, you know, it just came in my mind as I was using it. I said, I only have 3 balls. It's not going to make a very big blanket. What else can I use with this? And lo and behold, I pulled this out of my stash. I'm so happy I was able to use this color. This blanket makes me so happy. I am not sure yet, again, where it's going to go, but I'm going to hold on to it. And guess what? I get to get it out of my whip pile into my finished objects pile. So I'm very excited about that. So I hope you really enjoyed this one. I enjoyed making it. It was a beauty. It is a beauty. I'm just folding it up so I can show it to you up close so you can see it. I feel like I'm holding it upside down. I am holding it upside down. You look at it this way. So you're just making double crochet cluster V-stitches in the clusters of the row below. It's a very simple, easy pattern. I would definitely recommend you following the link down below. Check out this pattern. Try it out with the yarn you have. I've used worsted weight yarn, and I think it would be beautiful with worsted weight yarn. Even a light number 3 could look good, but I think the worsted weight just gives it that really nice like stitch definition that it needs, without being too bulky and without being too thin to hold on to. Sometimes when I use thinner yarns, I hold 2 strands together, but in this case, I didn't need to do that. So that again is my beauty. Okay, so we're done with that. Now, the last thing I made on my trip, I actually started on the drive home when there were, I want to say 2 or 3 hours left in our drive. And I made a little bit of progress, but I had already chosen these colors from before, so I knew they would go good together. And I literally just finished this today, but I really wanted to share it with you because it's so exciting to me. I should really save it so that I have more stuff to show you in my next video, but I'm just really excited. So I'm going to pull that out and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So the last project that I want to share with you today is another corner to corner blanket. And I guess the last project I showed to you, this one right here, was kind of, I want to say the first time I mixed yarns of different brands. They're the same weight, but they were completely different brands, completely different color schemes. But that gave me some confidence to work on this next project. So this next project is just came about because I had chosen this yarn to take on my trip, and then I kind of sat with it and I was like, okay, how do I put these colors together? So I had purchased from Michael's Karen's Cinnamon Swirl Cakes in the color Springtime. And I don't think I even took a picture of it, but you'll see what it looks like. I mixed that with a yarn from Joanne called Big Twist Value, which is 100% acrylic as well. And this is what I made. So this color that you see is a different brand, and the rest of the colors you see is a different brand. I'm just going to open that up and show that to you. That is what I made. This is my corner to corner blanket. And I totally controlled the colors. So I started off, I want to say this is the beginning. So let's just see how I started off. I started off here with a little bit of the Big Twist color, the solid. And then I went into the Cinnamon Swirl Cake. This is all Cinnamon Swirl Cake for about, I want to say at least 10 to 15 rows around. And then I went back into the solid color for the middle. I even started decreasing with that solid color. And then I went back into the Cinnamon Swirl Cake. And then I finished the Cinnamon Swirl Cake, and then I went back and I was able to do the end with the solid color. So I had a couple of ideas on how I wanted to do this. Initially, I was thinking I would do all of the Cinnamon Swirl Cake about till here and then just do the solid color. But as I started and I did it at the bottom, I was like, oh, it would look really pretty if I could do it up here at the top too. And I was able to do it. I used the whole cinnamon swirl cake, the entire thing down to the last stitch. And I have this much left of my big twist value. I still have, you know, I still have some left. So I really love this project. And no, I know it's just a corner to corner. It's nothing complicated, but it's so pretty because I managed to match these two colors together. I hope you love it as much as I love it. I really, really love it. None of this was planned. I had this that I just bought from Michael's, and then I found this solid color in my stash, and I just put them together, you know. This was also a new purchase from Joann's, a newer purchase, but this was in my stash. And the cinnamon swirl cake was new, and I was looking at it, and I was like, hey, that purple could match that purple. And then this is what I made. I love it so, so much. I keep showing it to you because I'm like so in love with it. So because I made this, I was thinking of making one more. And I'm going to show you the colors for that. I bought 2 cinnamon swirl cakes. This is the other one. This is the color Snow Cone, okay? So now I want to do the exact same thing I did in this blanket again with another corner to corner. And this is another color that I pulled out of my stash. This is again big twist value, and this is the color Sapphire. So look at that. It's going to pick up on this color right here, and it's just going to pop. So I'm super duper excited to do this again. So I'm actually wondering if I should just wing it how I did the first time. Or I've marked off my ends differently, so I know this is where I finished. I could actually sit down and just literally count the rows because it's going to be around the same yardage. It's the exact same yarn. I have another cinnamon swirl cake and another big twist value. So I could literally just count how many rows I did here, do that, count how many rows I did here, and so on and so forth, and make something in this way with the blues. I'm really excited. Oh my gosh. This is just like, I can't tell you how happy this is making me. This one is like so beautiful. Look at the colors. Oh my God. Again, this is a corner to corner. I just made a square. That's all I made. I made the triangle. I kept increasing and I got to the middle and I started decreasing and I made the rest of the triangle. That's all I did. Nothing complicated. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can mix colors and be creative, you can mix colors and be creative. You totally got this. I want you guys to try this. I want you all to try this. It's so nice. And look how nicely they go together. You can't even tell that they're 2 different balls of yarn. So I'm going to do that again with these 2 colors. And I'm so excited. Super duper excited. Sorry about that. My doorbell rang. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be making. This is like giving me ocean vibes. I feel like I'm going to be on the beach. I love this. Okay, you guys got to do this. You got to do the same thing I'm doing. Just go to Michael's or go to your stash, pick out your cinnamon swirl cake, find one color in there that you really love. If I had this color, I would have done this color, but I don't have a solid one of that. And just mix your colors and make a beautiful corner to corner. I can do it and you can do it. I'm so excited about this yarn. I'm so excited about this project. I love this one. This was a real beauty, the cinnamon swirl cake. What color was it again? I think it was Springtime. Yeah, it was called Springtime. Springtime. So I've showed you a lot of projects in this video and really just giving you inspiration. I've made a corner to corner as a square blanket. I made a corner to corner as a triangular shawl. I've made a corner to corner as a rectangular scarf. I showed you my moss stitch blanket. I've showed you my V-stitch cluster blanket. There's so many possibilities and I have so many finished objects now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 finished objects. Look at that. But I gotta tell you something. Behind the scenes, I'm starting more projects. I have a shawl I'm working on that's kind of sitting in the naughty corner. I know I could finish it in like maybe 2 or 3 hours. I just haven't put the time towards that. And then I did start another mandala. I started another mandala. It's going to be a large mandala. It's not my own design. It's again by Lifestyle by Ella. It's called Queen. I'm going to link it down below. It's on her website. I'm using 2 strands held together of a Hobby Lobby brand. So I'll show that to you later because I just started. I just made a start. But I will be showing that to you hopefully next week. And yes, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so excited about crocheting, about my whips, about my finished objects, about things I'm just starting. I'm so excited about using up all the yarn that I have. It's such a great feeling. So if you haven't already, please like this video and definitely subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the fun things crochet in my world. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful crochetful day, and I'll see you again soon.